When you first join the game as a human, you'll either spawn in Honua, the Celestium Kingdom, or in the Sand Village Rosario. So the first thing you want to do is look for the purple NPC Jort and buy a Tien sword off of him. So as you can see, I'm not in any of these locations right now because I'm part of the church. But with this NPC right here, you could transport around. And you will end up seeing this guy in the village that you're in, except for Honua, if I'm correct. Because that's more of like a middle ground area. So I'm gonna go to mid-desert and then I'll show you guys how it looks. Alright, so I'm at Osario, and as you can see, there's the purple NPC right here. So when you talk to him, you just want to click the second option. And for 100 Rio in the bottom left, you get a spare Tien weapon, which is pretty good, honestly. It has fast M1 speed, decent range, but there's better, of course, but it's always like good to have it at the start. Once you got your Tien sword, you'll need to unlock your tier 0 Tien coat. And to do that, simply find any other player and ask them to spar. After a small amount of fighting, you'll get a cutscene and awaken your coat. And then right after, you're going to focus on meditating. So, no matter where you spawn, whether it's Celestium, Honua, or Osario over here, there's going to be these little... Oh, what the hell? Someone must have bugged this one right here, but normally it's a meditation mat right here, so keep that in mind. And as you can see, this guy's on one right over here. So that little mat right there is really important at the start. It's what you got to use. So as I said, there's one right here and one right here. I do like Osario because it has two. Honua has one and it's located behind the building. I'll put a picture up on screen. And in Celestium there's also one. There's the picture. All you're gonna do is hold E, meditate. For me, it doesn't work, as you could see, because I already have T3. So the reason you're going to want to meditate until T3 is simply because it's the fastest and most efficient method. Now, after T3, it just won't work. So you're going to have to move on to other things. But from T0 to T3, you want to come to this mat, and there's going to be a mini game. You don't even have to hit the red thing on the mini game. But I would recommend doing it, since otherwise it's technically exploiting. But if you really want to, you could just spam space on the meditation and it still should work. Once you get this pop-up from your character when trying to meditate, you'll know you have tier 3 Tien coat. You can also tell from your increasingly growing aura and the newly gained lightning surrounding you. Next up, we're going to be talking about how to craft weapons and the best place you can mine. So you're going to want to go head over to the transportation NPC. And if you're already in Celestium, just stay there for now. But if not, you're going to want to go to Midlands. And now follow this path. Right, so we're in Celestium. You're going to want to come over here. And this is the blacksmith. Alright, so we made it to the blacksmith. Now, each blacksmith has different unique weapons you can make. Some of them being the same as other blacksmiths, some being different. But to check materials, you're going to want to click, can you make me a Tien weapon? And then it'll ask you, and you just click on which one you want to see. And I have execution, so you need 2 gent, 1 poorman, and 2 metacore, which is a certain type of material. 2,500 gold, not a problem. But yeah, it's pretty simple. What you're going to want to do is come over to the blacksmith and ask him, how do I make weapons on my own? And this is going to give you a pickaxe. With the pickaxe, you're going to be able to get ores, and I'm going to show you the best place to mine in a sec. Alright, so follow along this path. So, here's the mines, although people are fighting. 2 humans though, so it should be a friendly fight. Oh, they may be fighting over ores right now. But yeah, this is the best mining spot. As you can see, there's over 10 ores here. And you're just going to be able to get the most, whatever you need, the fastest here. So always come here. There's other spots, but they have like 3 or 4. They just don't matter. Now, I don't know all the ores by heart, but I know this is Yorn. These ones are Gent. This one right here, I'm not actually sure. I think this is Silverine. Here, I'll check right now. Yep, Silverine. But whatever materials you need, you'll be able to find them. So just mine around, see what different things give different ores, and you'll get it really quickly. Alright, next up we'll be talking about clans, traits, and Tien blessings. Now, when you spawn in, you'll have a random clan and a small chance to spawn in with a trait. Clans, traits are very important in this game, but not as much as skill, honestly. And don't worry if you spawn in with a bad hand, because you could always reroll it later. Tien blessings have a small chance to be unlocked when activating tier 3 Tien for the first time. However, most people get one by using Tien blessing rerolls after T3. Now, there is one blessing that you won't be able to see visually on yourself, but as soon as you M1 somebody, you'll get a particular effect. So I'll show you an OG clip of me using it. So, pretty simple, you're going to have that little effect anytime you land a hit if you do have Conquerors. Now, to check if you have a trait or not, all you have to do is head over to this little spot right here, and if there's a star, you'll be able to hover over it and check what your trait is. If not, then you unfortunately don't have a trait, but all you have to do is spin for it. You can get spins from doing events and certain things like gladiators, tournaments, but there's another way that I'm about to show you guys. All you have to do is follow this Roblox account. I'll put it right here. It's the owner's account, and once you join the game, you'll be rewarded with tons of different spins. I'm pretty sure it's a guaranteed 5 clan spins, and the other ones are sort of randomized. So, you understand how to get rerolls for your clan, you understand how to roll your trait and check your trait, and you know how all the blessings look. So, on that end, you're pretty much set. Now, you gotta focus more on the combat aspect of things, and what to do after you reach T3, after you choose your beginning things. When you press P, it'll bring up PvP and mission queues. So I only recommend mission queues if you're really new, just starting off, and you need to grind up a few levels and stuff, just to be able to compete. Now, you're mainly gonna be doing PvP queues when it comes to XP at first. So I'd say just do missions or PvP missions, and you are able to queue with friends, which makes it easier. If you're queuing alone, you probably won't be winning much unless you fight other freshies. So yeah, if you have friends, PvP at the start. If you don't have friends, I'd say mission is better. Alright, so next up I'll be talking about Tien Flows. Basically everybody's able to get one Tien Flow. It's actually pretty important to like your overall build. Personally, I have reverse Tien, which allows me to heal, but I wouldn't really recommend this anymore since you gotta be standing still. And honestly, it is good if you're like a gank player, but in ones, it does not help at all, basically. Now, the best ones and most like flexible Tien Flow, in my opinion, would be Universal Flow. So I'll show you the NPC for that, located in one of the buildings in Honwa. And here's a list of what all the flows do. But I recommend Universal, Reverse Tien if you prefer that and you want to be able to regen limbs, wear an armor without prosthetic. But Universal overall, probably the best. Now, there's one more topic I need to talk about that's essential to building your character, and that's the skill tree and the investment point tree. So when you hit V, you could open up this book. Now, available SP, in total, you could have 55. You could only go up to 50 normally, but once you use a Maestro at max rank, it increases your max rank by 5. Now, if you try using this before your max rank, it'll just say this. So, that doesn't work, obviously. So once you get max rank, take the Maestro, pop it, your max rank will be 55. Alright, so I gathered a little more information on investment points, so I'll be going over that briefly. Now, agility, I wouldn't really recommend it in general, most people say it's just not a stat you want to go for. It will increase your M1 speed slightly, so you could get more combos in before stun decay settles, and your weave window is slightly increased. Honestly, you could put a bit into it, but I'd say there's other stats that are just more important overall. Next up, we got arm strength. Arm strength is going to be like the scaling for heavy weapons, things like great swords, broadswords, or gauntlets. So it's like the rough, not very technique based style. So if you have something like my weapon right here, this is definitely going to scale with arm strength. The gauntlets as well will scale with arm strength. And if I'm right, Silverine Sword and Dawnbreaker will. So next up we have control. Control, quite simply, reduces TN/mana used on abilities, and it partially affects the scaling with them. So control could be nice to go for. I haven't went any control since I didn't get my TN mastery yet, so it wouldn't really be that useful. So leg strength is like the scaling for certain like fighting styles. More like melee fighting styles, acrobatic, and some weapons. It also attributes to Mauler mana loss on cutting a limb, so you could look into that. It could be important for your build. Next up we have resistance. It just increases damage reduction partially, very solid. And stamina reserves increases base stamina. So technique, it's mainly for mana loss on cutting limbs, but just recently he made it scale with Executioner, Silverine Sword, and Fang on damage. So if you're using any of those 3 weapons, you're 100% going to want to go tech. Now, for the skill tree here, you really just want to spec into like whatever you think is good. You could read the descriptions and see what you think is good, but don't go fist damage if you're going to be going sword. For tank, personally I like to get the first 2, but this one, brick wall, I don't really like it because you already get that hyper armor when getting hit into a wall. It could be good just for the next few things in the tree, but it's really an expensive tree in general. I do like speccing out into other things. I personally went Mauler. So there's a tree for Mauler and then a tree for technical. You get swordsman and precise, and then you branch out to either Mauler or technical. Mauler is more for high pressure players. You're gonna be doing damage, as much damage as possible, and you can either win by bursting them before they can heal, or making them have to heal so much they can't heal anymore. With technical, you're going to be cutting off limbs very fast, so you'll be able to drain their mana, and over time they can't regen. Honestly, I don't know which one is better. It's really up to playstyle. I like Mauler because I'm very much a pressure style player, and the Rocks clan gives me a damage buff. Battle Blood also gives me a damage buff. So as you could see, it's really dependent on your build. Alright, so next up I'm going to be showing you guys how to sign up for tournaments and how they actually go. So all you want to do is when you see the Celestium tourney sign up available in the bottom right here, you come to this guy, talk to him, and there will be an option to say yes. Once you hit yes, you're in. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, watching the clip back, I didn't weave that much in this fight, but I do explain the combat really well, and I'm mostly just focused on teaching instead of fighting. So I'm gonna keep this in. Check it out. We should be good here. This guy's not that good. So that was a perfect dash right there. Now, in this game, you don't want to be as aggressive as you think you'd want to be, unless you're running Mauler against Dragon. And I just changed to Mauler, so maybe I do want to play a little more aggressive. But you don't want to play aggressive because you want to keep your stamina. When you dash around a lot, you lose a lot of stamina. If you keep your stamina, it gives you a lot more space to just abuse moves. So I hit him with an aura cleaver there. Continue comboing. So you could up tilt by holding space while hitting. And something people like doing is turning around while M1ing to bait weaves, or you could just pause your M1 to bait weaves. So I'm going to try getting some examples of that. You see how I paused my M1 there? And that little noise is him weaving. So I just baited out his weave. There, I just dodged that. Perfect dodge. Bring him up. I like bringing them up because I have some in the up tilt tree, which makes damage better in the air. And it just makes you have more time to combo. So we're going to hit him with that. What's cross slash? Woo! Okay. Blocked. Oh shit. See right there, he weave baited me. Lifted me up, delayed, and then I weave baited. Bang bang. M2. Nice. So yeah, we're doing really good here. We're gonna go for a burst wheel. Nice. That's like a Conjuro water wheel cut. Block that. Whenever you see like somebody holding a sword like that, it's most likely a dash move that you could just block. So like lightning flash right here. But that one's very fast, so it's kind of hard. I actually really like that one compared to snap flash. I might be running Mauler permanently, guys. Now we're gonna go in on this guy. Yeah, I'm doing kind of bad here. I'm gonna focus. Missed? What the fuck? This guy missed. I haven't seen that happen in a while. 25. Oh shit. Nice. Oh, so this guy does damage. Holy shit. Oh, nice. It's coated off. Nice. We got him. Okay, he was one tap. That was a good fight, and I just got the opportunity to show you guys a bunch of weaves, how to weave bait, how to up tilt. So yeah, that'll be the full combat segment. Anyways, I hope this guide on Ragnarok's helps you guys in your journey this lore. If you have any questions on the game or need more specific in-depth guides, let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe as tons of future Ragna content is on the way.